ask any question. Yes, so that we are able to move on well, and so that I don't also talk to myself so much. Yes, thank you very much. We will move to loans, very, very critical part of the system, where we will always be having questions about loans. We have so far looked at loans account. Under members' personal account, we have seen how you can be able to make a payment for a loan, and you can be able to view an account for a member. Because they will always ask, how do I get an account statement for my member? How do I get this and all that? And as we move forward, I know we will be able to get all these things. So, under loans, we have register loan product, loan application, collateral registration, view loans, charges, and formulas. We will start with the first one, register loan product. Why we have register loan product is because for the system to give you the details you need, or for the system to give you correct account statements and all that, you must first of all have keyed in the details about the product. Because we normally have different products in different organizations, in different circles, in different microfinances or chamas, and they are as many as the organizations are. For example, in one microfinance or Sacco or whatever, you may find that they have like 10 loans. They have development loan, emergency loan, school fees loan, special loan, Inua loan, Jijenge loan, and all these loans behave differently. They have different interest rates, maybe. They have different charges. They have different installments and repayments. So that tells you that they will have different repayment schedules. They will have different. The account statements will look different and all that. So while we have register loans, and this is the first step. After you have finished with registration and you have registered the GLs, the groups, the members, the banks, the payment modes, you have to do registration of the loan product. You have to come under loans and ask yourself, what is the product name? This product is called what? Emergency loan. And you put a short name and all that, then a description. The product type, is it a personal loan? Is it for civil servants and all that? Is it business loan and all that? The purpose of the loan. That is the product type, I mean. And all these details. Details like estimated appraisal period are very important. What time does it take between loan application and the appraisal or the approval? The loan fund, which account funds this loan? Which bank or which GL account funds this loan? Sawa. Then maximum principal. What is the maximum principal for this loan? As in, how much what is the maximum that someone can give us the principal? What is the minimum repayment? What is the minimum number of times can you pay the loan with? We are getting here in our system, repayment means the number of installments. Sawa. So that when we talk of minimum repayments, we are asking ourselves, what is the minimum number of times can someone pay for this loan? So you have to indicate that. And then you have to indicate the maximum number of payments, so that this loan can, can only be paid within 12 months. So 12 is the maximum number of repayments. What is the minimum interest rate? What is the maximum interest rate and default interest rate? This happens for people who have different ranges of interest. They have a minimum and they have a maximum, and they also have a default. By default, you have to pay this amount of interest or this percentage of interest. Then details like interest is charged per, is it per month or per year here? Is it per month or per year? And then the loan is repaid is it every once per month, or is it after every 1 day? You indicate there. And then what is the interest method? Is it flat rate or reducing balance? Normally, this is usually for the client should have these details, so you do not have to kill yourself with it. It's the client who has these details. They will tell you, now our loans are normally on reducing balance. Does the system capture that? The answer is yes, and you must be able to show them where that is and where they will capture that. So that you don't just tell them yes and then you're not able to show that. So under interest method, you can be able to choose either flat rate or reducing balance. Then there is days overdue before moving to arrears. You can indicate there how many days, if a loan is not paid, how long should they take for it to be called or for it to move to arrears category. Then days overdue before moving to non-performing assets. How many days, after how long should we call this loan a non-performing asset? A non-performing asset, what is it? Who has an answer for that? When do we say a loan is a non-performing loan, or we call it a non-performing asset?
So when you're almost sure that you will never recover that money. So it's beyond the grace period.
Then minimum guarantors. What's the minimum number of guarantors that this member must, or that this loan must have? And then maximum again, place guarantors funds on hold. You indicate yes or no. This is where if someone has guaranteed a loan, a particular amount of his or her savings are put on hold until the loan is paid. You say yes if you do. Enable multiple disbursals. This is where if the organization allows multiple disbursals, that you have applied for a 70,000 shillings loan, we can disburse today 35, tomorrow 20, and then the other day we disburse 10, so that by Friday you will have your 70,000. That is what multiple disbursals here will mean. If they do that, they normally put yes. Amortization, this is also very important. Is their amortization equal installments or equal principal payments? That one is for them to know. As in most of the details here, actually all of them, it's for the client to provide. But now you, as the person who is selling Jisort, must be able to show them where it is. Must be able to understand whether we have such a thing or not. Because they will tell you, no, our loans operate like this. You must know that these details are found under registered loan product. And for, I think, there's something we call garbage in, garbage out. What you give to the system is what it will give you in return. So if you feed it with the correct details, if you register the loan product correctly, then you will get correct results on view loan account. But then if you say, for example, amortization is equal installments and you wanted to see equal principal payment, That is not possible. You will see what you keyed in. Sawa. Then loan portfolio, all these, we have charges. I'll show us where we set the charges so that when you are asked whether the system is able to take care of charges, you will be able to have an answer. Then interest account, this is where the issue of the GL I was talking about now comes in handy here. Interest account, where does the interest go? To which GL does the interest go? See, we said interest is income under the GLs. So you must have set a GL for income, and then maybe you call it income from loans, interest from loans under income. Sawa. So that now when you're selecting the interest account, it will go to that particular GL. We are getting? Then there is overpayment account. What overpayment is what? What is an overpayment to an organization, to a Sacco or to a microfinance? Seme, nilifaa kulipa 7,000 and I've just made a payment of 10,000 via PayBill. You see there's 3,000 as overpayment. What is that? In what category is it? Is it an liability? Is it an income? Is it an asset? Is it an expense?
It's a liability.
It's a liability. Someone else with a different opinion?
Unless the member has a savings account where it can go, which either way is a liability. So whether you're going to refund the payment or it goes to savings, it's a liability.
Yes. And maybe there are those organizations which do not refund. They do not actually refund. You have made them confident. So that would be an income for them. So this is where now the issue of the GL comes in. As I was telling you, the system is majorly GLs really count. Understanding the GLs really count for you. So you must note down, you must have registered a GL for overpayment account so that you indicate during registration of the loan product, you indicate to which GL will the overpayments go. Then losses from write-off, that will be what? Losses from write-off. You have written off a loan. Now that the member is not able to pay, you may write off to umesema. Actually, that will be what? It will be an expense to the organization. So you must be able to explain all this. So losses from write-off, you select the account. Hiyo loan imekuwa written off, itakuwa inaenda kwa jina gani. Then there is approval levels. This is the people who can approve this particular loan. You have applied a loan, yes, there is someone to approve. Approval levels. And there are two. We have approval levels and allowed approvals. The difference between the two is approval levels is the levels that the levels of approval that the loan must go through. That it's a must for teller one, or it's a must for the manager and the assistant manager to approve this loan. That is approval levels. Then allowed approvals is anyone can approve. These are allowed to approve. The ones in the drop down, the ones you can select. So that if you select the approval levels, if you select, it will not process without them approving. They must approve. Actually, when you will click on process loan, I'll show us the loan application process. You cannot be able to see that loan. Yes, I'll be able to explain that later. Then allowed approvals, that is if it is approved by anyone, then it will be okay. It will be able to appear during the approved loans step. Then indicating whether it's a group loan or not, and whether it's real-time interest, whether the product operates with real-time penalty, say yes or no, whether it's published to the marketplace, and also interest calculation method, whether it's calculated as per loan type or as reducing balance, and all that. Majorly, here you just follow through the fields as they are. There are those who would want to attach a product image maybe to this particular loan product. For example, a product image report. Maybe a document with more details concerning the loan and all that. You can be able to get it here. There's this place for offer letter and demand letter. There are those people who will want to this particular loan product. You must attach the offer letter or the application form for that loan. So if it is yes, you click on yes, and then you choose that particular letter, like that. And also the demand letter. The demand letter is the one that is now sent to demand for the payment of the loan. After you have filled in the documents correctly, then you save. And something maybe to mention is that there are those fields that do not apply to everyone. There are those people who do not need offer letter. There are those who do not need demand letter. So if they do not need them, then you just select no, or you do not need to worry so much about them. Something about credit limit formula. Maybe there are those times people will ask. For us, we limit our loans. You cannot take beyond. You cannot give a loan beyond 20,000. There is a place for that in our system. You will be able to set a formula, and then it will appear here. After I will show us how the formula goes. And then when you have set the formula and you have given it a name, it will always appear here. And when you select it, it will now, that loan product, someone cannot be able to apply beyond the particular amount. So there is a provision for limiting people to the amount of the loans they're supposed to apply. I think that's all about registering a loan product. And so it's the first thing you do. Even before you think of applying a loan, you cannot apply a loan in the system without first of all registering the loan product. So you first of all have to come and put the details concerning that product in the system. Then after you have registered the loan product successfully, you can be able to view it. But now, after you have successfully registered, the system will always give you feedback. It will always tell you that these details are missing, so you cannot proceed. And when you have put in the details correctly, the system will tell you successfully registered loan product. The system will always give you feedback concerning each and every activity that you are carrying out in the system. So next we will go to loan application. This is how the process of loan application, how it goes. In the system, you can be able to apply a loan simply, as in one by one, loan moja moja, for one member, and that's all. And this is the process. It's here. you just follow through the fields as they are. You select the member name, then you automatically generate the loan reference number. Here, there are clients who will tell you that we do not want that auto-generated loan reference from your system. We want to have our own loan reference number because maybe they have how they go about it. So you can be able to type from here. You can be able to type on your own. You see that? So they are allowed to put their own loan reference number. Then loan type you select. This is now why I was saying that you must have registered the loan product first. Because it will appear when you are applying the loan, you must select which loan type you are dealing with, and therefore that is why you must have registered the loan product first for it to appear on this drop down. And then the loan purpose, you write the loan purpose and the amount and the number of repayments. And I repeat again, number of repayments here for our system is the number of installments. This loan is supposed to be paid by how many or with how many installments. That is what is called number of repayments in our system. And then date of application, the grace period if it's there, and then date of first repayment, and days before first repayment. Something else to note, maybe when you're doing a presentation, you may make this mistake and then it keeps on giving you trouble. We choose between either date of first repayment and days before first repayment. You cannot put both. Are we together? That's something that you're supposed to note so that you will keep on referring to it. But if you're able to keep it without writing, then it's okay. So you choose between the two. You cannot put both. You choose either date of first repayment or days before first repayment. Are we together? Then interest rate. Here, as we were looking at registration, we found out that there are people who want to put range, minimum, maximum, and default interest rate. Those who do not use uniform interest rates because of some reasons. So this is provided for so that when you are applying a loan and you have set in the loan products detail, you have set different ranges. You have set minimum is 10, maximum is 20, and default is 15. Meaning someone can apply a loan with interest between 10 and 20. So you have to indicate here. But for those who use uniform interest rate, then you do not need to indicate because the system will pick the one set on the product. Are we together? Then repaid on, you put the after how many days the loan will be repaid. Then loan application document. If there is a document you need to attach during application, then you put it here. You choose the file from your computer, and then you're able to attach it to this loan application. Then there is loan top-up. There are those organizations that allow people to top up their loans. Either, for example, you have a loan that is already active and you want another loan, and maybe you want to borrow that loan as a top-up so that it clears the balance that you have, and then you remain with this other one, you pay it. Or you may want to top up the loan and they run concurrently at the same time. So when you want to top up a loan, this is because you will be asked such questions. How about top up? How do we go about it? Does the system allow top up? Yes, it does. So when you want to top up, you say yes there. Then create repayment standing order. This is where the loan you are applying for will be paid using standing orders. you are able to say yes or no. Maybe we can explain the concept of standing orders later. Then you save. That is basically the application process of the loan. When you want to apply the loans in bulk, again, as I was saying, there are those people who will come on board now and they want to capture everything since 2016. You can be able to do that in bulk. So what you do is you click on bulk apply loan and then you export this CSV down here. This part, it's giving the members, all the members who have been registered in the system, so that now you can be able to apply for their loans. This tells you that if you have not registered the member first, you cannot be able to apply for their loans. So registration is very important. It's actually the first, should be the first step during the setting up of the system. So when you export this CSV, it will, let's export and see what it brings. It gives us the details of the member and a place for us to put the amount being applied for. Let it open. Yes, here we are. Now it has brought all the members in the system, and now we will arrange, we will put the number of repayments for the loan these members are applying for, the amount, the application date, and the repayment date. Those 4 columns. After we have done that correctly and we remember to format the dates correctly. I said we use which format for the dates? We use which format?
English UK.
Yes, English UK. Yes. And then we select which one? The one that starts with year, month, and then the date. Quite important for us. And then the amount, you must make sure, you know, there are those times you want to copy paste and then you put amounts like 2000.00, like in that format. The system will not be cracked. You have to format it to, the small places must be reduced to 0. Sawa. Yes, so after you have arranged that CSV, you are able now to come back to the system still on bulk apply loans. You select default number of repayments. Default number of repayments. This will always be 1. Sawa. It will always be 1 because by default you must pay the loan at least once. Then you select the loan type. Now that tells you that one must start with the particular product, not all of them at the same time. Then the date of loan application, again here, you start with the earliest. That is what we had said again in the morning, that you start when you're doing bulk and they have different dates. Let's say, for example, you're doing bulk loan application for loans from January to August. You will start here when you're putting the dates, you will put the January dates so that now the system picks the rest automatically. And then you indicate whether it's a top-up or not, and whether they are being paid with standing orders or not, and then you save. You choose the file and then you save. Then next one is on adding guarantors. You will be asked, where do we add guarantors? Does the system allow us to add guarantors? Yes, it does. Under loans, under loan application, you will be able to see these add guarantors. Here you have guarantor type. What type of a guarantor? Is the guarantor a member or a non-member? Is it the whole group that is being used as the guarantor for this loan, or is it multiple members, more than one members guaranteeing the loan? Like that, you follow through. Is the guarantor using a collateral or savings? You are supposed to indicate that. If it's savings, you indicate the savings amount. If it is collateral, you have registered the collateral first, and now it will appear on the drop down. Then you will come here and select the loan to guarantee, and then you will save. Yeah, so then after you have applied the loans, the other step or the next step of the loan application, if maybe the loan did not have a guarantor, you will go directly to approve loans. So after you have applied, all the loans will come here on this level of loan approval. So you will select which loans you want to approve. If you want to approve all of them, and we are saying the reasons for approval, the reasons for us to have this step of approving is to check on the amounts, whether if you total the amount in your CSV will give you still the same amount that the system is giving you. There are those times you want also to check on other details like member number, whether it's correct, or whether you have applied for the right loan product. There is loan name there, applied amount, whether they are correct, date of application, and all that. The loan application document. You remember during application there is a place we have seen for choosing the application document. You may want to view it here. It will come here when you select it. You may want to view it. You can view it here. When you want to view the offer letter, for those who use offer letters, you can generate the offer letter here. Then there's loan details. Before you approve this loan, you want to check whether it is applied with the correct loan details, because they will always ask such questions. How do I confirm that really I have applied or I'm approving the right thing? Does the system provide for that? Yes, it does, because you can view the loan details here. You will check the applied amount, the phone number, whether it's correct, and all these details whether they're correct. Now, if they are correct, you can go ahead and do what? Approve the loan. So when you click on approve, it will ask for date of disbursement. When was the loan disbursed? Then you put the disbursement date and complete the approval. After approval, it's process the loan. And one must go through this process for it to for the process to be successful. Then these steps must be followed: application, approval, processing, and disbursing. So this is just very simple. You click on the loans you want to process, and that tells you that you must register the collateral first for you to be able to add the guarantor, or for you to be able to attach the collateral as the security to that loan. So collateral registration, it's very simple. You come and select the member, whether it's a member or a non-member that we are using the collateral. Then you select which member it is that we want to register their collateral, and a short description. Then collateral ID number, if it is a vehicle, the logbook number or something. Then the value of the collateral, it's worth how much. Then the status, is it active, inactive, or like that.
Where do you access it from? The registration option.
The registration option.
Or the collateral?
Of the collateral.
Yes.
You access it under loans. Loans, collateral registration. When you click on collateral registration, then it will automatically take you to the page of registering the collateral. Yes. Then you select the collateral type. Is it movable or immovable? And then comment, and then you save. After you have saved, you can view the collateral on the next tab, which is this. Now these are all the registered collaterals and their details. Next, we have view loans. They will ask now, I've registered all the loan products. Where do I access them from? Where do I view the loans from? You will get them under loans, view loans. Now, here you will view all the active loans. Active loans meaning the loans that have been applied for and are ongoing. They are being paid for. They've either not started being paid for or they are in the process. Then completed loans. All the loans in the system that have ever been applied and completed, as in they were paid for successfully. They will be under completed loans. Then rejected loans. This helps in accountability. You see, on the approval stage, there was an option to either approve or reject. When you reject, it doesn't just disappear like that. When you're rejecting, you write a reason why you're rejecting that loan. So that people don't go messing up in the system and then no one can trace what has been happening. Are we fair? And this is very important for accountability. So you're able to see all the loans that have been rejected and the reasons for the rejection. You see rejection reason here. This is whatever there's wrong, too many loans or something. The reason must be seen there. Then there is the reversed loans. The two are different. Reversed loans are the loans that were successfully applied in the system, but later they were reversed. But rejected are the ones that were rejected or reversed during approval stage. So everything that you do in the system, you will be able to see it here. So reverse loans can also be seen and the reversal reasons here. Then pending loans. Pending loans are those loans that have not gone through the loan application process successfully. Maybe someone applied but did not approve. That loan is pending. Someone applied, approved but did not process. That loan is pending. They applied, approved and processed but they did not disburse. The loan is still pending. Yes. Then written off loans. Written off loans. These are the loans that are written off. The loans that now someone has not paid and there's no hope. You have now come to a conclusion that this is a bad debt, so you just write off the loan. You will be able to see them here. Then processed loans. These are the loans that you can be able to view all the loans that have been processed but not yet disbursed. So that's basically what we have under view loans. And as the name is suggesting, this you can only view. You can only view, but you can't do anything to the loans. Then we have charges. Under charges, as we were mentioning earlier, different organizations have different charges. They will have processing fees, they will have legal fees, they will have all those types of charges. They are set here because they will, sometimes clients will always ask, how does the system allow me to capture the charges that are attached to this particular loan product? And the answer is yes. We have disbursement charges, the charges that are charged during disbursement. For example, for us to be able to disburse a loan for you, we deduct 200 shillings, either on that amount, on the same amount, or on top of the amount. It depends on the settings. Then installment fees. These are the charges that will be paid on every installment. Then overdue fees. These are fees that are charged when the loan is overdue. When someone has failed to do their payment, so there is a penalty. So it's taken care of there. Then there is first installment, the charges that are only paid during the first installment, and you set them here. So you write the name of the charge. If the charge is called processing fee, you write, and then the time of charge, when is it charged, and then charge calculation. How is it calculated? Is it flat amount, percentage of the amount, or do we use a formula for that charge? You select that, and then you write the amount and all these details, and then you save. I'm not going into the details of how to do it, because you just basically need to know that there is a place for that, and then the rest is for the person who is doing implementation. Then after you have set the charges, you can view them. You can be able to view all the charges that you have set. Yes. After that is formulas. There are those charges that will need formulas, or the credit limits that we were talking about. That for you to, we do not allow someone to borrow a loan above 50,000. So there will need to be a formula for that. So this is where we set the formulas, and then you view the formulas here. So you should be able to know that it's true. The system provides for us to be able to set formulas for different purposes.